Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This one's an interesting one I'm actually pretty excited about, so let's get right into it. The topic, or the title of this video today is the rise in pet ownership, the hike in dog nuttery during the peak of social media in 2009. This was a fluke thing. It wasn't even going to be the video I was going to make. I was actually going to take the rest of the night off. But this is intriguing and the numbers were staggering, and so I really wanted to make this video. I'm going to try to wrap it all up into a short amount of time so that it uploads faster. That would be great. So, in the US in 2003, all right, now I'm going to give you, let me back up a little bit and give you some dates. 2003 is when Facebook was developed. It was 2003, 2006, and 2009 is when social media really hit its peak. And the idea behind this video is, did social media correlate with the rise in dog nuttery? Because as we were all discussing, Omega was talking about, a couple of us were talking about, it used to be that like these critters were in the backyard, and like he said, they'd make you wash your hands when you'd come in from touching them. They rarely came inside the house. Used to be dog houses and stuff. And now it's, bring them indoors, dote, and dress them in outfits, and spend ridiculous amounts of money. And I was like, it can't be a coincidence. It's actually a true fact. And once the statistics were looked up, it was true. And like I said, I have to give some credit to Doug for helping me out on this. He looked up a bunch of this, and I'm just going to add my own specific flair to it. So, in the US in 2003, the pet industry was worth $32.4 billion. There are more pets than human beings, okay? This market combined the sale of live animals, pet care supplies, and veterinary services. It was only half of that amount 10 years ago, okay? 378 million pets versus 290 million humans. Okay? Now, during that time, obviously, things changed in spite. We have the number of households, including dogs, has grown 36% since 2009, which is the peak of social media, to 49 million households in the country, okay? So, I personally believe that as social media has been tearing apart our ability to socialize, it also fed into and enabled the dog nut and worshipping community. Sitting at home, not having to physically interact with humans anymore, doing it all online, and slowly but surely these people turned these critters into their family as a replacement for relationships, partnerships, family members. How many people, we've discussed this in other videos, will choose these things over their family? In fact, I'll go right here real quick because I know that it's right here. We had just discussed it. A third of parents say their pet is their favorite child, and 34% would choose their pet over others, and 54% saying that their pet understands them better than their significant other. So, this is getting out of control. So this number of households, including dogs, has grown 36% since 2009, at the peak of social media's popularity, to 49 million. Fire this little computer back up. There we go. It helps with the light. To 49 million households in the country. Pet ownership is still expected to increase to 71 million households. So, it seems so minor on the surface. It sounds like nothing. But it's something. And I find it so intriguing. Maybe not my most interesting video to some. To me, this says a lot. The correlation is almost undeniable. You could say that they're not related, but I think with human psychology and the way we operate now, also, let's jump back to that page again, because there's something else that was actually in this. 44% of people developed a social media account for their pet. Okay? So they're definitely related and linked. We no longer go down the street. Kids don't go play with their friends. They talk to them on Snapchat or Instagram. You know, these critters went from living outdoors and just being a pet, you know, to living indoors and replacing the human interactions. While they sit there spamming, trolling people like us, and they have their best friend and companion in the house with them. They don't have to socialize anymore. It's like the downfall of society. Also, as Jonathan pointed out earlier, as we were discussing this a bit, I believe the iPhone, and we can't just blame the iPhone, let's say like more sophisticated technology also debuting in that time period. This area here between 2003 and 2009. So 2003 was when MySpace came out. 2009 is when things really peaked, and it's in and around the area of Facebook and iPhones and better technology, which enabled us to basically sit on this crap all day. Like you go to the doctor's office or a dentist's office where you'd be sitting in the lobby, and a lot of times you would end up like talking to people in the waiting room, right? But now everyone's just in their phone. And so you can sit there and make your pet a social media account while you're in the dentist office. You could be talking to people around you. I don't know about everybody else, but that's the thing for me. I'm very social. Where I seem like I'm approachable and have a great speaking voice and everything, I've gotten a lot of great compliments. That's how I am in real life. I am just like this. So everywhere I go, I am interacting with people, but I'm not antisocial. I don't have a problem getting along with other humans. So just mind-blowing stuff. The specific increase of 36% since 2009 is just, it's something, man. I was blown away by that fact. And even Doug, who had helped me, he's not a dog hater. But even he was like, man, I didn't expect it to be that high. You know, I certainly didn't expect, because it was just kind of a passing idea as we sat around going, man, when did it turn from the dog living in the yard, and where we all thought it was weird when like a lady would have like, I say lady because that was what I associated with when I was younger. It'd be like this lonely single lady or gentleman, like I said, is like trying to date people. Like it's like every single man has dogs, you know, and they're like a huge part of their life. They don't go anywhere without them. It's just everything they do, and it's really difficult to meet, you know, people that are single, especially without children, that don't have some kind of pet that they're like locked into, and they just can't see past it. And so when did like that change, you know, and become this whole thing? And now I'm looking and going like, sorry, my computer just fired on. Now I'm looking and going like, well, it was just a passing idea. He sits down and does some of the research. I start looking into it and going like, wow, so let's run over this one more time, okay? Just because I feel like it's not a lot and that it just doesn't seem significant, but, you know, you guys are intelligent and you're obviously making the correlation like we did, that in the U.S. in 2003, the pet industry was worth $32.4 billion, okay? And it jumped 36% as of 2009, and people are just sitting there with these pets. And part of me is like, how many of these people were like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get a freaking dog, make it a social media account, and everybody's like gonna jump on that shit because people care so much about that crap. And this is a big industry, a very, very big industry. We're talking, you know, $32.4 billion back then and spiking. That's a lot of money, which is half of the reason that we are attacked when we bring this kind of stuff up and vilified and shit talked, because you don't mess with people's money or mess with their mental disorder that makes them think that they have to protect this thing. You don't have to protect this thing from the facts. You don't have to jump on me, call me a Karen or whatever's going on because I simply pointed out how many children get attacked in a year, right? So that market number came from a combined sale of live animals, pet care, supplies, and vet services. It was only half of that 10 years ago. So you take back to 10 years in 2021, and you see what I'm saying? And like every year it's just like popping up. And every year this is more and more socially acceptable to spend your life on Facebook. So there's what little human interaction they're getting, but that's not human interaction. You know, this is where these people can talk all kinds of shit and not get an ass whooping. It's like Jonathan and I mentioned earlier. You know, there was a time when you'd go out and if you had a problem with someone, you get in a fist fight with them, right? And that was it. You just settle your problems and everybody got to go home. Now it's like, no, they can develop fake profiles. They can spam and harass you. Use text number apps to create complete other phone numbers to attack you on all fronts, so you don't even know where, you can't even block them because they'll just use one of the text apps and just create one number after another. Fake social media accounts. Fake, even if it's not fake, how many people are like using the filters and shit? And so you've got just this corrosive mental issue, and then you throw these brainless mutants into it and further enable their problem. They don't have to go out and address the problem. They don't have to go out and seek interaction. Just go get yourself a dog and go sit at home and throw it a birthday party, you know, make it a social media account and treat it better than you do the rest of your family. It's fucking crazy to me, you guys. Excuse me. Number of households, including dogs, has grown 36% since 2009 to 49 million households in the country. So yeah, I don't know if you guys find this as interesting as I do, but I really did. And being someone that's constantly curious as to like when and how this got so popular, when did it go from, I mean, I remember, you know, when I was younger, if the dog even barely like snapped slightly at someone or bit someone, that one of the male adults in and around our family or whatever would go out and shoot this damn thing. We didn't sit there and put it into quarantine and decide if it should live, spend all of this money on shelters to put them in. It's crazy. So I'm gonna wrap this up. The shorter the video, the faster it will upload. This is definitely a topic we're going to be revisiting, but I wanted to put up the information that I had found as of today. And we had just started researching this like literally a few hours ago, and this is already what we come up with. So just gonna go ahead and end it here. I'm gonna thank you guys for all of your support. Honestly, ban all dogs. Thanks, man, you're great. Tesla, obviously, who doesn't like that guy? And Beanie Girl, huh? It's a couple of you guys I'm just gonna toss in there. Isabel, as usual. Thank you guys from the bottom of my dog-hating heart. I appreciate you so much. We'll definitely be revisiting this topic. For now, I am going to try to have a snack and defeat my insomnia and sleep one day. But I truly appreciate you guys. Remember, the email is always there. Contact me. You can always use new topics. I'm actually building up a list. I have so many topics now. I could make 4 videos a day and still wouldn't be able to cover it. It's insane. Conversion of the Facebook page is going super well. I really didn't expect it to go as well as it did. It totally is. It's great. And I'm happy to be coming out to everyone and letting them know how I really feel. So thank you guys. And until tomorrow, I'll see you then. I believe the topic is going to be the first death I witnessed in my life, when my brother killed a dog to protect me in the desert. So thank you guys. I'd kill a dog to protect every one of you, just in case you were wondering. See you tomorrow.